I feel so much stronger. It is great looking in the mirror now. Like, you feel good every single day. The Strength Club is not boring. The exercises, for me, mentally, they're stimulating. They are like much faster results in terms of like, oh wow, like I can see that I'm putting on more weight, both on the barbell and then physically, like good, healthy weight.
Hey y'all, I'm Cameron Cox, owner and head coach here at the Strength Club. Joining us today is Greg. Greg, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
So Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself, family, where you work.
Family, 2 kids, middle school, almost high school girls. My wife, super fitness. I'm currently general manager at 167 Raw. I've been in food and bev, hospitality, over 15 years in Charleston.
Awesome. Yeah, Greg and I used to actually work together at Hank's Seafood 100 years ago, so.
Dark days.
Oh yeah. So Greg, tell us, before joining, what was your typical fitness routine like?
Almost non-existent. I tried some routines at home. I tried even like some personal training, kind of other like high like intensity style. Stuck for a couple months, not consistent. My home is like my temple, so I have a hard time kind of just getting motivated on a consistent basis doing those workouts at home. I'd say maybe in my mid-20s I had a consistent spot, maybe at like one of the gyms, Golds or MUSC with friends, but career, I work a lot. Not all my friends are on the same page. So prior to coming here, it was just kind of random jogs in the neighborhood, random workouts at home.
Okay.
Nothing with complete structure.
Right. What was your experience like with other gyms or trainers or fitness endeavors before the Strength Club?
I'd say the biggest thing is kind of like you'd go in there and it was just like, we're gonna give you our program and make this fit and not necessarily adapt. Put on the suit, here's the workout, here's the exercises, here's the amount of time that you're gonna do, and you just go in and you just kind of like a one size fits all. Not necessarily tailored, not necessarily the best for, you know, a 40-year-old man versus like a 20-year-old guy. No weights for the most part, or very, very lightweight. So you're doing these exercises and these routines, and while you might feel results, you might be tired afterwards, they felt long, they felt boring, they just didn't feel like you're actually gaining any strength versus just sweating and being tired.
Right. And what were those results like, and how is the Strength Club different?
Results were not like, I like to say the eye test. You can see them. You can just like look at yourself in the mirror and feel better. That I didn't see. Maybe my like endurance went up. I could run a little bit more, but at the end of the day, like that's not what I'm looking for. I'm in my almost 40. I want to like look good. I think once you look good, then everything starts to kind of feel good. You know, it just gets frustrating. You do something for like maybe 6 to 8 weeks and hope to see a little bit of result. And when you see kind of nothing, that's when the mind of like, this is just not working. It's not for me.
How's the Strength Club been different from that?
I'll say this. Strength Club is not boring. The exercises require like concentration. Like you can't come in here and just half send it. At the same time, the exercises, they're all like very, very teachable. They are flexible in terms of how much weight you want to put on there. They're also very flexible in how many reps versus, you know, 5 sets versus 3 sets at a higher weight. For me, mentally, they're stimulating. They are like much faster results in terms of like, oh wow, like I can see that I'm putting on more weight, both on the barbell and then physically like good, healthy weight. And those two things immediately were like, work became much easier being on my feet all day. I didn't even realize it. Had no idea. I didn't think I was out of shape. Couldn't handle a 12-hour day. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't need to sit down at the end of the day. Ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you want to start strength training at the Strength Club specifically?
Man, that's a good question. I never really lifted weights with someone with like, you know, your set of knowledge. I lifted in college a little bit. I mean, that's just like with the dorm bros and doing bench presses and not really having a plan. And everything I've done up until this, maybe I lost a little weight, but in the mirror, I was still like how everyone likes to call skinny fat. And so I had heard, I'm not like an idiot when it comes to working out, but like the fastest way to maybe eliminate fat is to build muscle. And so I was like, all right, I need someone that has some knowledge, that can spot me, that knows what they're doing, and that I feel comfortable moving like bigger weights. I never barbell squatted in my life. And so the thought of doing that is just like at a random gym without any help was definitely intimidating. And here it was like, oh, within a week and a half or 2 weeks, you felt comfortable. There's been like some, changes along the way of like, how am I approaching this? Can I tighten up my core? You know, little things that I've learned to make the lifts move better, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. What was your biggest frustration with other ways of working out before here?
I mean, accountability. That's probably the biggest thing. I'm someone that like I don't need like someone there watching me and being a full coach every single day, but I need someone that's like, hey, are you coming in today? Hey, let's try this weight. Let's move it. Let's get down to like what your goals are. And that's been huge here. Having the same kind of people in the class, having you here every day, and then writing down all of our workouts and seeing. I went back on October 3rd just to see like how long I've been here, and it had been a year and 1 day. I've never done that in my life, working out.
Yeah, before you mentioned you would go for a month or two and then fall off.
Yeah.
But you've really fallen in love with the process and been at it for a year consistently.
A year without missing outside of like 1 week for getting really sick.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. How did you feel about your physique and your strength before starting here? And how do you feel now after a year?
Not great, man. I didn't like look in the mirror and be like, oh man, you're crushing life, or like you look like you're fit. I never felt that way. Probably looked fine with clothes on. I never felt like super comfortable or great, like taking my shirt off and going to the beach, or like even going to like a pool party with, lots of friends. No one's really judging me at this age, I felt like. But now, going into these places, going to the beach, I don't have that like, oh, is everyone going to look at me when the shirt comes off and see like what's underneath? Now I'm confident. I'm not saying like I take it off and I'm flexing in front of everybody, but that thought is just confidence without even knowing it. I feel so much stronger. It is great looking in the mirror now. Like you feel good every single day.
How annoyed is your wife at home now that you're walking around flexing at the house?
I take more mirror time than she does. We have a stand-up mirror in our closet now.
You gotta love it. That's one of my favorite metrics to measure. So what surprised you the most about working out at the strength club?
The diversity actually surprised me in such a good way. When you think strength training and squats and all the heavy weight that we're moving, never did I think I would have like the 25-year-old realtor, the 60-year-old like woman that's still active and maybe, works, whether farming or horseback riding. I've got the insurance sales agent, and all of us are in here. We're all in different careers, but we're all getting the same results. And usually every gym you go to, it's either like super social, like everyone's there to look better than each other. And, I don't feel like there's necessarily goals in there. I feel like here is like all crafts of people, and I'm watching everyone kind of transform. And we're all doing it in a pretty quickly way. I'm not saying we're all ripped in like 3 months, but within 8 weeks, you're like, man, you're seeing physical changes. Within a month, you're feeling physical changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you describe a specific strength or physique change that you've noticed since being here?
100%. My torso, specifically like love handles, that area, I've never had like definition. I've always had some softness around it. All the way from college, it's just a problem area I had. I don't even feel like we target specific like ab exercises, but every lift that I now have been doing, every single one, you have to engage your core if you're going to do these right, and if you want the weight to move the way you want it to move. And that's been like the biggest eye-opening. Like I look in the mirror and I'm actually not like muffin top love handles out the side. My chest has always been like pretty like fit and big, but now it's actually like toned in a way. And then same thing, I put that same sentiment into arms. I've always had super skinny arms, super skinny legs. Like I don't care how many calf raises, how many squats, whatever you can do. I mean, we're not even really curling in here, and my arms are noticeably bigger. I'd say in the first like 7 weeks, I've had neighbors and friends and family like, whoa, like haven't seen me in a while. Like, what have you been doing, dude?
Just a little weightlifting.
A lot, yeah. So it's been great. I think I started here October 2nd of 2024, and it was probably about 195 pounds and not great weight. In the mirror, I was like, man, I'd like to be 185. And that's my mindset was like, oh, I just need to lose this fat and get down to a, 10, I need to lose 10 pounds. When in reality, it was like, no, you need to keep that weight. You can honestly put on 15 to 20 more pounds and you're going to look way better than if you thought you needed just to lose 10 pounds. And honestly, putting that weight on was way easier than trying to lose 10 pounds of fat.
Well, a lot of people have equated losing weight with looking better.
Yeah.
But what we've found here at the Strength Club is that by getting stronger and building muscle, that helps you to lose fat, but also build muscle, helps you to look better.
Oh, by far.
So people want to look better. They're just misguided about the about how to get there?
I mean, I thought running 3 to 5 miles a day and making all my food, like my caloric intake essentially like lower, was what I wanted. That's really just not a realistic goal. At least not at my age and not what I do.
Right. You mentioned one of your favorite parts of the transformation was losing the love handles.
Yeah.
Working out at the other gyms before doing those classes, did y'all do a lot of direct ab work? A lot of core exercises?
I would say we did more like planks and stuff like that, and more like some ab works out, zero results. I think maybe if I did that on a consistent basis, we say we did abs 3 times a week and only did that and did that, sure, maybe there's results there, but that is, for me, and I think for a lot of people, like doing 100 crunches or planks for 2 minutes and doing 5 sets of that is like boring, and you're just thinking about how much physical like stress and quote unquote pain during those exercises. And so it's really hard to channel out like the benefits while you're doing these. Whereas like here, I'm putting up weight and I'm doing a rep, which is not a 2-minute plank or not 1,000 crunches. And so you do this rep and you put up the first one and you're like, oh, I got another one. And then the second one moves and the third one almost moves a little easier. And then you're done. And then you have that another set. And yes, there's physical stress. And yes, you have to be mentally tough to move this, but it's not boring. It's not boring in the moment.
So at these other gyms, you're doing tons of direct, core work and ab work. How much direct core work do we do here?
In theory, 0.
0.
I'm not an idiot, so I understand that engaging your core in exercises, you are getting a core workout. But in terms of like leg raises and crunches and all that, we do none. We do 0.
Absolutely. So, when you barbell train, it engages your core. And so like Greg has shared his experience going from a gym where they do so much core work to try to get rid of those love handles. And then they come here and we just focus on getting stronger. And he says, hey, love handles are gone.
Yeah.
Not one sit up was done. This is great.
0 sit-ups. Yep.
So how has getting stronger and leaner carried over into your life outside of the gym?
I mean, it's full positive. Everything. We go to the beach every Sunday, take the kids, take the wife. We do a beach day. Taking your shirt off there, not having that like, oh, is anyone looking at me? And having that confidence, you're at the beach and now that became like my happy place. And that in turn became like the stress reliever. And so that turned from going with my wife and kids every Sunday to I would go like every Tuesday. I'm like, I'm just going to take an hour and a half. I'm going to go out here and read. And the beach went from like, oh, this is okay to like, I love this. And then it takes my stress away, gives me a break from work. I mean, the mental clarity is unraveled. I haven't had that since like sports in high school.
Right. So you've pulled a few short straws since you've been here and been unfortunate enough. You've had to experience a couple of injuries.
Definitely.
Tell us what it was like when you got injured, and then tell us what it was like coming back from that injury and then finally getting past that injury.
I got injured fairly early on. I started October 2nd. I got injured almost maybe like a month in. We were squatting. I had a little back tweak. It wasn't debilitating. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, but it hurt. And I got home and just kind of like, let's see how tomorrow feels. The next day didn't feel great. I texted you and I said, not coming in, but I have a back issue. Might not be able to squat today. And your answer was, get up off the couch, come in, trust me, let's sort this out together. And so my immediate was like, I don't think he understands, like my back hurts, but I am fully bought into this. Let me come inside and let's see how we can attack this. And so we did some air squats. It did feel better. You're right, sitting on the couch and resting is not the answer. Like you can mope and you can blame everybody else, but at the end of the day, if you've got like a little setback, I think that only makes it stronger. One, to trust in you, which I did, and it was slightly scary for someone who hadn't been working out. But I did come back from it. I came back from it even better. And then my technique with how I approached squatting and where these injuries were coming from changed just a bit. And then the weight started moving even easier. It was almost like the classic, like, one step back to go 2 steps forward.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So to bring this to a close, what would you say to other guys in their 30s or 40s who were on the fence about strength training?
Easiest way to get in shape, bar none. You can have a long workout. You can go to the gym. You can have non-guidance. You can run laps. You can get on machines and cable weight and all that. Or you can come in here and you can be very serious. You can be in and out of here in about 45 minutes. It's probably the easiest method of training for being consistent, yet the hardest amount of weight I've ever moved in my life.
So you mentioned before you would train for a couple of months and then fall off, but you've been with us for just over a year now.
Yeah.
What about this training encourages you to be consistent and keep coming back?
Every day is a new quote unquote record because we had weight almost every single workout each week. Your next workout is kind of like better than the previous. And so you're seeing numbers results, whether it's on the scale and on the barbell. Eventually you'll see the physical changes in the mirror. But I think having an actual live measuring stick and seeing that each time makes it like easier to stay with it. That's probably the for me anyway, like having measurable results pretty much overnight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my last question, if you hadn't joined with us, where do you think you'd be today?
Skinny, fat, trying to run, tired at work. I don't know, man. I don't even try not to think about crap like that.
Those dark days are behind us.
Yeah, man. They're all done. Everything got easier. Everything at home, everything at work. It just makes life easier.
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah, man.
Greg, that was a great conversation. I sincerely appreciate you coming out with us today.
Appreciate you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're a gentleman in your 30s or 40s and considering starting some strength training, we'd love to hear from you. I'm Cameron Cox here at the Strength Club. Thank you so much.